200.
Yeah, well, that's where you got to get your postage break at.
Right.
24 cents, 200 is what I believe. Anything over quantity 200, you get the postage break at 24 cents.
Possibly with the smaller cards, with the saturation, it's all at 14 cents.
Okay.
Maybe right now it could be like 1.42. It changed a little bit.
So you get the zip code. Is there a way you could only mail out to a certain amount of people in that zip code, or do you have to do the whole thing you said?
Actually, the thing I just mentioned about the maps, if you can get a hold of one of those maps.
Where do you get those?
I don't remember the name of it off the top of your head, but by all means, if you guys have any further questions after this, or you want the name, just shoot me an email, chris@windowcleaningresource.com, and I will forward you whatever you need.
Yeah, because I found with some neighborhoods that I thought about doing it to, they're actually split, and they're very nice neighborhoods, but they're actually split within the neighborhood. So
yeah,
you want to get the whole thing, but you're only getting half of it if you do it.
Yeah, you can break it down to the route level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Melissa Data.
That's it.
Melissa
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Melissa Data Maps. Yeah.
MelissaData.com or?
Yeah, it's something like that. Yeah.
Just Google Melissa Data.
Yeah. Thank you. Anybody else have anything?
I think our post office was pretty. We had talked about bulk mails years ago, and when I went, she said you don't have to send it to all of our routes. You can be specific, and they were pretty willing to work with us on what targeted which area, because we actually live in an area where we're surrounded by a lot of coal mining patch towns and that sort of thing. So she said it would be whatever would suit your needs. So they were willing to work with us on that.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely. If you can find a postmaster that has some time in the day to work with you. Fortunately, we live in a very, very, very populated area, and the post offices are just slammed, and they don't want to talk to us. They roll their eyes when they see us walk in the door.
Yeah, that was a small post office. That wasn't the main.
Yeah. The post office is going to make.
But by all means, you should take advantage of that and get in there and ask them any questions you can possibly think of.
Right.
They may be able. They actually definitely could break that down to the route level for you without you having to buy a $150 Melissa Data map.
So did you go to your drop-off in the post office in that zip code?
Yeah, that's how it works basically. So in the morning, we usually mail to 6 or 7 zip codes a week. What we do, we have them all prepared during the mail bins. We take them to our post office where we have the permit. Permit, I think, is about $150 now. It covers you for the year. What they do, you bring all the mailers in. That takes like an hour. It's horrible. They weigh them. You cut them a check. Then there's some forms. There's a form for each town you're going to, a 3-part form. The post office where you check in takes one of those forms, and that's one of those forms I gave you there in the pamphlet. And then you take the mailers to those zip codes you're delivering to with the appropriate form, and they check it in, stamp it. But you have to stay on about it and be very good about keeping your paperwork. We found in the past, some post offices would let our mailers just sit around back there for 3 or 4 weeks, and by the time the people got it, our cool coupons and specials had expired. What are you going to do? Argue more of them? Next time they'll just throw it out on you. So sometimes you lose a little bit.
How do you develop a marketing system to track your marketing through season periods?
For the specifically the cards, we give each card a clever name. Lady with a clipboard, we call it. Chick on a couch. Newspaper one. We just have come up with a clever name, and it's put into the computer. When the customer calls in, say, what card are you looking at? They're so different. It's pretty easy to tell them apart. And that just basically goes into the Service CEO programs with the name of the card, and then later on we can pull reports to see what cards are most effective. This card right here. Survey of British men find shocking discovery. I was a little bit hesitant about sending this out, but it got actually a great reaction. Some people, actually 2 or 3 British people, called us and yelled at us. I thought this was extremely offensive, but I wasn't really even too mad about it because it got people thinking. We got a ton of work from this. It was pretty surprising. So I may have aggravated a couple people, but so many other people thought it was the most clever thing in the world. They just needed to book their windows. So don't be afraid to get a little crazy with your cards.
These are pretty awesome. You design them yourself, and what website or what program do you use? Or
Photoshop.
The same one that
Yeah.
he was talking about, that cheaper version, you get the better one, or
I have a better one.
I mean,
Just
'cause these
I-
are, like,
we-
really-
I use it for the other business to put together stuff, so we have it.
these are really, I mean, really impressive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm at home with
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, no,
Publish it,
you know,
that's
in the past I used to just throw out whatever, and then about 2 years ago I decided to get real serious with it and just produce the best possible.
No, it's got.
product
Yeah, I
could.
agree. It's got to be
Yeah.
the best you could possibly do. I want to know how to do it better.
And
That photo.
you'd be shocked how the response rate goes out when you're putting out a piece of direct mail that's significantly better than anything else those people have received that week.
Better than the super groups, because they just throw them in the trash, because there's so many of them.
When I get the super coops, I go over the garbage can, I open it up, and I go, pizza coupon, the rest goes in. I take competitors.
I know, I
pizza
tried
coupons out,
that.
yeah. I've tried it too. The problem with that is it's mixed in with everything else. The advantage of doing one of these real big pieces is the people have no choice but to look at it.
Right.
It's very good things.
You start the printing company out.
Yeah, yeah. Save some money, then we can sell the templates to everybody else and help them out, get them printed for people for less than they're currently getting.
So what's your response rate in that?
It varies. You know, if you mail one of these out in the spring, you can get upwards of a 2.5% to 3% response rate. You mail one out in August, it's maybe 0.25%. We all know our busy seasons. Everybody's slammed. April, May, June, July, and then August. What happened? There's not too much work around. Then it picks back up in September, October, November.
August vacation time.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Getting the kids ready to go back to school.
I try to fight that seasonal dip every
Tough,
single
man.
year, and
Happens.
I can never do it.
I get it.
Schools.
Yeah.
Schools are good in August because they're
Yeah.
getting ready for the
Yeah,
season.
versus, yeah.
That's how we've stayed busy doing school districts in
Yeah.
August.
Anybody else? Questions?
Chris, I'm just curious, on your ad, you did 20 window special?
Yeah.
Like just, people ever call that more than 20 windows? Like how do you handle that? They have more than 20 windows?
Everybody always has more than 20 windows. That's the brilliant section. Because you get your first 20 windows clean for $10 a pop. Each additional window is $15, so they can choose to get those done or not. Some people, very small portion of them, just choose to get that 20 done because they want to stay within a budget. And we suggest maybe they just do the outsides, or they just do the front of the house, or just do the stuff they can't get to. And if they have 40 windows, we'll let them double the coupon up if they ask.
If you don't mind me asking, what's your average size house that you're doing here? I mean, that we're talking about. We're talking about 3,500 to 4,500 square feet, 2,500 to 3,500.
I don't know the square footage, but the average house we do has about 32 to 35 windows.
Yes.
Anybody else? Anything?
This might be more along marketing, but this is in the packet. This is my favorite one, the 2-hour thing, because we're in the Northeast. People are really busy.
Yeah.
Whatever. This is awesome. This one right here. I want to give you that compliment. I love it.
Yeah. Before I started getting real crazy with the mailers, I heavily analyzed our database and realized it was 75% female. So I just started making all these pieces to what's going to appeal to them.
Right.
That's what it's all about, really.
I think it's good to possibly explain. I don't know if it's pretty self-explanatory. It should be self-explanatory, but for like smaller one-man, two-man operations, if you're planning on going out and doing this direct mail and you're going to do it big, I hope you guys are ready. To have the help to provide for the work if it goes through, because that's the worst thing you can possibly do is send out a huge mailer and not be able to service your people.
Yeah.
So that's just it's just something that I guess I learned from. Just put it that way.
Yeah, you got to. You can't just jump into doing 50,000 pieces at once. You need to slow trickle. You send out more. You add more people. If that's your goal, or
Right.
you can just send out some great pieces and work by yourself and have a steady flow of work. Or you can work by yourself, send out a ton, crank your prices up, and only take the cream of the crop, the people that want to pay. That's totally an option. About once a week, I fantasize about doing that, just working by myself.
I think we all do.
Yep.
Something starts to go wrong, and I just think this would just be so much easier if I did it myself.